Okay, so there is drama at Barstool Sports. If you don't know what Barstool Sports is, you're living under a rock. Go educate yourself. But they have some drama going on. Okay, so they have a relatively new Barstool employee. Her name's Alex Bennett. She has a podcast with her mom, Content Kim with a K. She's, I don't know, coming for Kris Jenner. I don't know. They've been working at Barstool for a couple months. And I guess Alex Bennett lives in the same building as Danielle Bernstein. And if you don't know who Danielle Bernstein is, she is the girl behind We Wore What. It's basically just like a fashion
I just
Instagram
ordered
account.
a pair of leather pants from there and I love them.
Really?
They fit so well.
Wow.
From my friend Nicole bought them first and I had her send me the link. Shout out Nicole.
Oh, well, she has 2.8 million followers on We Wore What. I don't know how much her personal Instagram account has, but she's a very, she's a well-known person. And obviously when you're that famous, the, what do you call it? The pressure to always look good is on. And so, and actually I did fact check this. I did my due diligence. Danielle Bernstein, I'll preface this. She's been under heat quite a bit for getting caught photoshopping her photos. Like this isn't just like a first time.
Okay.
Whatever. But basically Alex Bennett lives in the same building as Danielle. So she's seen her.
Do they both work for?
No.
Barstool.
Danielle doesn't work for
Okay,
Barstool.
gotcha.
No, but she lives in the same building as Danielle, so she has seen her in person before. And I guess, so there's another Barstool employee. I don't know her name. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I think her name is Jordan.
Yeah,
she
whatever.
has something called Blocked. It's like the segment where people come on and they talk about times that they've been blocked. I guess Alex was commenting on Danielle's Instagram post saying like photoshopped and Danielle blocked her.
Okay.
Which
I
don't see
probably
anything.
block that person too.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think you can
Especially if you
block.
live in the same building and you've like seen each other before and
Yeah,
they're
it's
like
awkward.
throwing shade on your Instagram. It's like, grow the fuck up, knock on my door and tell me to my face, bitch.
Mhm. Yeah, I know. So Alex went on Jordan's show Blocked to talk about being blocked by Alex. Or talking about
Whatever.
Alex
So one
being
girl blocked the other
Danielle.
one. Okay.
Yeah. And so they posted this video on January 19th. And Dave knows Danielle personally. I guess they've like seen each other out in the Hamptons before. So they're mutual friends. And so they posted this video January 19th talking about their experience. And Dave asked them to take it down. And Alex was like, what the hell? Like, why? Like, I'm not. I guess he called her a mean girl. You're like, Alex the mean girl. Alex the body image police. And she was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm just spitting facts. Like, she photoshops. I've seen her in public, like blah, blah, blah. And it's been this whole thing. Like, if you listen to Dave Portnoy's show podcast, it was like a whole huge segment.
Okay.
And basically Dave Portnoy is calling Alex a mean girl, saying like, who are you to call someone out? And she was like, well, who is she to Photoshop and like get away with it? And so this is something that I feel like is very controversial. You know, Alex Cooper just caught photoshopping and she owned up to it. Danielle has never owned up to it. And I don't know, it rubbed me the wrong way, because I was like, is she in the wrong? Isn't she? I don't know.
So, okay. I feel like, yeah, obviously the story was one thing. It's not really like whatever, girls feuding, but I think like you said, it brings to light like the larger thing of, I feel like we live in this world these days where people get called out. People feel like they have the right to call people out for things. And is that okay? And is that not okay? And where is the line drawn? Because two sides of the story, right? You have this girl famous on Instagram posting pictures, photoshopping. On one hand, it's like, well, let's say this girl is insecure and she wants to Photoshop her body. She should be able to do whatever the fuck she wants. Like, why is that anyone else's business? On the other hand, it's like, well, when you have, millions of followers and, impressionable viewers who look up to you, should you be held accountable because you're setting unrealistic beauty standards? And I feel like those are the two typical arguments that I see. It's tough. I think that, okay, I honestly, and this might be the wrong opinion, I've photoshopped before. I have had a day where, like, maybe normally I look a certain way and then I had like 3 pieces of pizza that night, and the next day I was hanging out with my friends and I looked ugly and bloated and I was PMSing, and a picture got taken and it was really cute and my friends looked cute in it, but I looked really like not great in my mind. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna Photoshop myself. I feel like we've all been there. I don't see a problem with that, to be honest. And I think that just because someone has 2 million Instagram followers doesn't mean they're not like, doesn't mean that they're precluded from feeling like insecure about their body and wanting to change things, in my mind. I do think it can get a bit dangerous if you go overboard with it and like set these unrealistic standards. However, this is the key. I think that there's 2 things you have to do. 1, you cannot say, oh, I never Photoshop, like my everything is 100% authentic, because then you're lying. Right. And you also, I think if you get called out, I think you have to own up to it. I think you just have to be like, listen, yeah, do I Photoshop every picture? No, but like sometimes I do it if I'm having a bad day and the shit you see online isn't real, and you know, bless up. I think that's kind of what you have to do. You have to roll with the punches, because to be honest, I would say 80% of people out there do Photoshop, and it's not like big stuff, but like even the little teeny twerks. Usually, like most people I've like sat down and honestly asked them, have you ever Photoshopped? They'll say yes. But I think when you have such a big platform, you do have to own up to it. Does that mean that I think that this other bitch should be like, being like, I saw you in person, you look like shit, and online you look like a 10. I think that is bullying. I think that's horrible, and I think that's completely in the wrong for that girl to do. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't understand why she had to like comment on it.
Yeah.
I think if you want to talk about it with your friends in private, that's one thing. I guess like Alex claims that people, like her friends were sending it to her saying like, oh my God, look at this. Like, and she confirmed like, yeah, no, she definitely doesn't look like that. And she tried to make an argument that like, that she wasn't a mean girl because like she knows that Chloe Photoshops, but she's never seen Chloe Photoshop. Or I'm sorry, she's never seen Chloe in person to confirm whether or not she Photoshops. So she would never comment on Chloe's Instagram being like, you Photoshop, because she can't confirm. That's even
worse
herself.
though. I think that's worse. I think it's less of a mean girl to see. Okay, so like we've all seen the Photoshop fails of the Kardashians where they have like 15 fingers because they like, I never understand how like editing your waist will make you give you 15 fingers. It's so, it's one of those mysteries to life, which I think is kind of cool. But I think that's actually less bad to be like, bitch, you have 15 fingers. Obviously you Photoshopped this. Than to be like, oh, I saw you in person yesterday and you actually looked like fucking disgusting and your pictures make you look hot. So like you Photoshop. I think that's way worse.
Yeah. I do think though that you shouldn't be catfishing yourself though. Like if you're Photoshopping to the point where like people see you in person and they're like, that's a completely different person.
Yeah.
That's where it gets out of hand. But like you said, if you're fixing a minor insecurity, like go off.
100%. But I also think that also gets into the whole territory of like body dysmorphia, which I feel like a lot of these celebrities or like influencers have too. Like I think there's a whole range of like things that are happening mentally behind the scenes. Like these people are being affected by as well by seeing their picture of themselves out there, not looking what they see. It doesn't make it right to Photoshop, but like, I don't know. I can't stand people that comment on people's photos and say negative things about their bodies. Like that just bothers me. And like, should the girl own up to Photoshopping? Like, yeah, 100%. But I just think it's disgusting to comment on someone's body. Like none of us are happy with our bodies. Like we all hate our bodies. There's not one girl I've ever met that's like, I'm genuinely just so pumped about the way I look. Like I look in the mirror and I'm just like fucking jacked. Like no one feels that way.
No.
I don't know.
Being the mean girl isn't cute. It's not.
Also, like, where do you think the line is drawn between like, all right, I'm an average person and I can like, you know, put filters or like edits on photos, and oh, now I'm a celebrity and I have like a responsibility to own up to it. Like, is it 20,000 followers? Is it 100,000? Like,
I don't think the number of followers you have matters. Honestly, I think we forget that celebrities and influencers are real people too. And just because you have a large following doesn't mean that you don't have insecurities.
No, that's true. Good point.